what we can do to contribute to the policies that not only make Albany a sanctuary city, but a welcoming and humane one. And furthermore, we meet every other 2 weeks to turn those plans into action. If you want to keep turning your passion into action and need help finding out what to do next and where to go from here, our doors are open at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, right around the corner at 94 Central Ave. I'd be naive to say that child separation is anything new in our country's history, but it would be wrong to stay silent about it, especially when we can keep speaking about it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, sundown is approaching. Get your candles. Don't forget, right over there at that table, just over near Washington Avenue. Yes, State Street's over there. Our next speaker is Mark Mishler of Jewish Voice for Peace. Jewish Voice for Peace opposes anti-Jewish, anti-Muslim, and anti-Arab bigotry and oppression. JVP seeks an end to the Israeli occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, security and self-determination for Israelis and Palestinians, a just solution for Palestinian refugees based on principles established in international law, an end to violence against civilians, and peace and justice for all peoples of the Middle East. Please join me in welcoming Mark Mishler.
Dear friends, brothers and sisters, I'm proud to be here tonight representing Jewish Voice for Peace. We are here tonight because we have no choice. Our history demands that we join with others to fight against all oppression, all forms of racism, and all ramifications of white supremacy. Jewish Voice for Peace stands for human rights. We reject the premise that some people deserve human rights while others do not. This is why we fight against anti-Semitism and we fight against Islamophobia. This is why we defend the rights of working people around the world, whether they are immigrant farm workers in the Hudson Valley, workers in factories just across the border in Mexico run by companies that abandoned Detroit, mothers trying to eke out a living for their families in sweatshops in New York City, where they are subject to super exploitation because they lack documentation, hospital workers organizing a union at Albany Medical Center, or Palestinian fishermen in Gaza. And this is why we stand in solidarity with Central American children in cages at the US-Mexico border. We stand in solidarity with children in military detention in Palestine, and we stand in solidarity with Black and brown children harassed and unfairly targeted by the police here in Albany. This is why we demand of our government, close the camps, abolish ICE, reunite families, and decriminalize migration. This is why we insist, as Jews and as Americans, that no government that engages in dehumanization and violations of human rights speaks for us or in our name. As Jews, we live each day with the historical trauma of the Nazi genocide. I cannot remember a time when I did not know about or have consciousness of the crimes against humanity committed by the Nazis and their collaborators. Crimes motivated by hatred, driven by corporate greed, entire societies molded into methodical extermination machines. For many of us, it is traumatic, even now, to read of the Kristallnacht, to read of the Nazi roundups, the firing squads and mass graves, the persecution of political radicals, communists, socialists, and trade unionists, the hatred towards Jews, the hatred towards the Roma, towards disabled people, towards the LGBTQ community. The collaborators at all levels of society who either tacitly let this happen or actively participated. The corporations that profited from war and destruction, the detentions, the labor camps, the concentration camps,